Hey guys, so today was day one of the food stamp challenge. Once again, I'm trying to eat this week for $4.15 per day. First, I did some research. I calculated roughly how much I spent last week on average per day, and that was whether I went out to eat or whether I brought food or cooked food, around how much it would cost per day. And this was just me alone, not with my family. And the average was about $18 a day. This week, I'm averaging $4.15 a day. So in my last video, I explained all the things that I bought at the grocery store. This morning was my first meal. I had some of that instant oatmeal and an apple. It was not, I didn't finish that meal saying I'm hungry. However, I was a lot hungrier leading up to lunch. So it didn't fill me up as much as a normal serving would. So that was something that was interesting. But it's not, an apple and a bowl of oatmeal was not something completely out of the ordinary for what I normally have. Now, the thing that I really did miss was not having a cup of hot tea or a cup of coffee or a glass of milk. Again, soy milk, not regular cow milk. So I just had water. And while that's not horrible, it's not great either, especially on a Monday morning. It was a little rainy and overcast today, so I needed some wake me up. So that was a little difficult. When it came to lunchtime, I made myself a bologna sandwich and had another apple. Again, if you saw my video from last week or from the weekend, I was only able to buy a 3-pound bag of apples. That was the only fruit I was able to buy. And I made myself a bologna sandwich. I put 3 pieces of bologna on there. And again, it was a filling meal, not filling in the right way. I don't like bologna. I try not to eat a whole lot of grains and starches and carbs. And so the combination of the oatmeal for breakfast as well as the bread in the sandwich just didn't feel right for my body, but that's okay. I don't imagine that I will be hungry going through this food stamp challenge. I imagine that that's not the issue. I bought enough quantity to fill me up for every meal, but it's not the right type of filling up. I don't feel good about it. At that point, I was craving a lot. I was craving vegetables, frankly. I spaced it out, so I had the sandwich around 12:30, and then I saved the apple for about 3 p.m. when I really needed a snack. And it was a good thing that I did that because I needed that pick me up, and the sugar in the apple actually took me through the rest of the day. By dinner time, though, I was extremely hungry, and I decided to cook the ramen noodles. I cooked 2 packets of ramen noodles. I added 2 eggs, and I added about half a cup of peas, frozen peas, into it. And that's actually typically what I do when I have ramen noodles anyway. Although normally I try to add an additional protein, whether it's tofu or chicken or sometimes like a lean cut of beef on top of that. I kind of like to dress it up. But here's the problem. The problem is if I've cooked ramen noodles in the past, like most everyone. Ramen noodles is, while cheap, is something that I think everyone has cooked from time to time. I don't add any of the sauce packets on there, the powdered packet. That's where all the sodium is. In fact, the ramen noodle itself without the sodium packet, it's actually not that bad for you. So I don't even add any of that. However, it was extremely bland. So normally I add some sort of seasoning to my ramen noodles, and in this case I couldn't. So it was actually really bland. However, in terms of quantity, I'm filled up. That felt good. Having the 2 eggs in there, that protein felt good. Having the peas, I could not have enough of those peas. Really, really was craving vegetables. I wish it was fresher. I wish I had more vegetables. I think that if I were to do this challenge again, and did it for a week again, that I would approach this a little differently. I feel like today I maybe rationed back a little too much because I'm terrified that it's going to be like Thursday and I don't have any food left over. So that's something that I think I take for granted. Normally if I did that, I would eat until I was full. And then if I ran out of food, I'd go back out to the grocery store and I'd buy some more. In this case, I don't have that option. And so I imagine it's going to be a little tricky rationing out the rest of my food as I go through the week. Anyway, that was day one recap of my food stamp challenge. Again, I feel full, but I don't feel good. I don't feel healthy at all. And that's a problem for me. Here's some more info on the food stamp challenge, especially if you're local to me in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area. You can join me this week or join me another week if you'd like. And if not, there's some links of where you can do something similar in your part of the country. Thanks again for watching. Watch out for my video tomorrow night as I recap day 2.